Hi everyone, David Maley here, and today we're going to do something really fun and interesting. I've had people ask me and say, well, can't we do fun stuff with data and with coding? Absolutely, and we're going to do that today. I'm going to show you in Jupyter and with Python how to create the rock, paper, scissors game and recreate it for yourself. I'll show you the libraries you need, everything you need to do to make it so it's a reproducible game that it sits there and asks you if you want to play it again, and so on. So let's get through this. So today, we're going to start with the libraries. You load the libraries. All you need is random and OS. If you don't put those in, it's not going to work. Random is your random choice. I'll show you here in a second you're going to be using. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have four functions. Okay, so you need to have four, not three or two, but four. One is the main function called play game. And then we're going to have win, lose, and repeat. Okay, repeat would be if you want to keep playing it or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to define the function play game, just like this. And this is where we put, this is the main thing of if you win or you lose. And you're going to use user equals input. So we want input from the user. It'll be an input box, and you'll say, what's your choice? R for rock, S for scissor, and P for paper. Okay. And it's going to be random choice, P, R, or S. See how we did that right here? So let me highlight that for you right here. So again, user equals input. What's your choice? What do you want to give input? In PRS. That's how it works. And the random.choice comes from this random library. If you don't put that in, you're going to run this and it's going to say, oh, I don't know random.choice is. I don't know that function. So once you have that, then we do three ifs. If the user equals computer, so you have to have equals equals, then you're going to have it print your selection plus user. I want to know what did the user put in and what did the computer have, and then it's a tie so that we always know, okay, they put in rock and I put in scissor and so on. Same thing here with these, except these are a little bit different, that we're bringing in user and computer values. So I want to have your selection plus user plus computer, same thing, but instead it's you won or you lose. Okay, I want to know the values for both. So I'm not just saying you've won, you've lost. I'm also saying your selection, computer's selection. See how we do that here on all these? They're all basically almost the same, except that they say at the end it's a tie, you won, and you lose. See how I do that? And I've got them in single quotes, so you can see that here. So that's basically the gist of the play game portion, the main function of this game here. And then we're defining win, which brings in player and opponent. And then this is if you win. So these are the instances where you win. So for instance, if player is scissors and opponent's paper, because scissors cuts paper, or the player equals paper and the opponent is rock because paper covers rock, or player equals rock and opponent equals scissors because the rock breaks the scissors, right? So it returns true if that's the case, if it's any of these. So I have that if player equals S, single quotes, and opponent equals single quotes P, or this, and then I've got the line carriage return, and then we got or player. I could carry that out, but then you wouldn't be able to read it all. So that way it's nice and neatly done. You just put this little dash, make sure it's the downward going one, not the upward going one, and then carries on or player equals rock and opponent equals scissors. Return true. We've also got the same thing almost for definition lose. So for this one, or defining lose, this function is the same thing but the opposite. So if you look at the first one, it's if player equals P and S, see that? Opposite of that. Second one is same thing, opposite of this, and third one is the opposite of the next one. How do we know if they lost, right? And then I'm putting this here, this little added replay equals N is because I have to define that function or that value, this variable, before I go into the next function here of repeat. So you've got, right now you've got the three, play game, win, and you've got lose, okay? That's just going to play at one iteration. I don't want to play just one. What if the person wants to play us 3 times? What if they want to play 5, 8 times? I don't care what it is. So then we have this function called repeat. It's a little bit more involved. And basically what repeat is right here. Remember, every one of these functions you have to put a colon after. Okay, so you got colon, and then if there's any variables inside it, you put those inside of the parentheses. Now, here I've got choice equals 1. All choice greater than 0, right? It's going to do this. So it's going to come in already, choice is 1. And then the replay, which we put is no, beforehand because we have to define it before we start this. Then we've got replay. If you don't do that, it's going to give you an error and say it's not been defined before it's being used. And it's got its own terminology for saying it, but it's basically what it's going to be saying. So what we got to do here is replay equals input. Would you like to play again? Y for yes and for no. It's all in double quotes. See that right there? And then we've got, see how they line up? You have to line these up correctly. If you don't, they will not play correctly. It just won't. So you've got if replay equals Y. We've got else if, which is elif. That's how it works in Python. Replay equals no. So we got yes, we've got no, and then we got else if there's an error, right? If there's an error, we just want them to say, look, you need to print or put in a Y, a lowercase y or n, okay? And then under each of these, you have, so if replay equals Y, we have this. Choice equals choice plus 1 because we don't want it to repeat itself endlessly, right? So when you do whiles, ifs, and loops, while, do loops, any of those things, you need to have choice equals 1 and then choice equals choice plus 1. Print enjoy, and then play game. It does that. Else if replay equals no, choice or n equals 0, which means it does not going to go through this again, right? And then print thank you for playing. And then os.exit, which is that OS library we loaded in above. Then we've got else, which is print please enter yes or so if somebody entered T or entered a word or something that we're not looking for, it's going to say please enter Y or N. Choice equals 0, so it doesn't keep playing it again, and then repeat so that it does play this thing from here, not from here again, depending on if they do it correctly or not. And then we're going to run play game, which is the first one, right? And then repeat, which is the second one, okay? These two get called from within here. See this? So in here, we've got if win, right here, and if lose. We don't call repeat from in here, okay? Repeat is called outside of there, right down here. That's how it works. So if I were to run this, this is just showing you a screenshot of after running it. So here it ran several times. I put in R. I'm going to show you how it works in a minute here. And then it'll tell you your selection was R. Computer selection was R. In that case, that's a tie. And then it'll ask, would you like to play again? Y for yes, N for no. Yes. Okay. Enjoy. And it starts up the next iteration of it. And it just goes down here. What's your choice? R. Oh, the computer had P. You lose because paper covers rock, right? You want to do it again? Yes. And we did the same thing. Now look at this one here. We put in T. I'm going to show you this when we run it. T was wrong, so it says no. We need to enter a Y or an N. And then, would you like to play again? Y, yes. Okay, so let's do this and make sure it works, right? So first go up here, and let's go and restart the kernel. Right? Restart and clear all output. Restart and clear all outputs. So again, we're in Jupyter Notebooks, in case you don't realize this, and we're running this in Python, okay? So we've imported our random and OS libraries. Let's run those both. They both run. Okay. Now let's run this whole gobbledygook if it's not that bad. It's just 4 functions here. So we just click somewhere in here and we hit run. Look what happens. We start off with what's your choice? R for rock, S for scissor, P for paper. Well, let's choose the first one. Let's pick rock. Right. Enter. And my selection was R. Computer selection was P. Oh, I lose because why? Paper covers rock. So the computer won. Would you like to play again? See how this works? So it says, would you like to play again? It went to this one right here. Would you like to play again? Y for yes, N for no. So if I hit yes, it asks me again, what's your choice? Rock, S, or P, right? So let's say I hit rock again. Now, last time we lost. Oh, it's a tie. Why? Because the computer had R. So I had R, computer had R. Remember, it's randomizing this through way up here. This part right here, computer equals random choice of PR or S. See that? Which is brought in through the random library using random.choice. Okay. So again, we're right here. It was a tie. First one was a loss. Let's do R again. Oh, look, we didn't read it. Say it said, would you like to play again? We're supposed to put Y for yes, N for no. See that catches that. So if I put T, same thing. It does the same thing. It says, no, that's not what you're supposed to put in. We're supposed to put in a yes or a no. So let's put yes. All right, so what's our choice? So we know that part works. Obviously, What's your choice? R for rock. Let's try rock again. We win. We tied. And we lost. Oh, we tied again. Let's do it again. So you can do this endlessly. What's your choice? R for rock. S for scissor. R. It's a tie again. Boy. Okay. We can keep going, playing. Let's just, what if I don't want to play anymore? Then I hit N for no, and there it is. Exits by saying thank you for playing, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So the code is all here for you. Import random and import OS. Remember, we got 4 functions we're creating here: the main, game, function, or module, whatever you call it here. We ask the user for their input a couple times. This one here, and then down below in the repeat function. We bring in a random choice, PRS. You can put any order here, it doesn't matter. If user equals computer, we do this one. It's a tie, you won or you lose based on, and we bring in the win or the lose, based on what they've done here. Then we create the win function. The opposite is the lose function, which has paper, when does paper win, when does rock win, when does scissors win. All right, scissors cuts paper and so on. We know all that stuff. We have to define the replay function outside here. If we don't, it'll have issues. So we do that here. We could have probably done that in here too. It doesn't matter. It's just quick code. Okay, it's not saying it's right or wrong, but it all works as you saw. So you do the repeat function here, choice equals 1, and then you go through this whole thing. Would you like to play again? We got replay equals yes, else if replay equals no. So we got these choices in here, yes, no, and else if there's an error. Like we did there, we put in R when we're supposed to put Y for yes or N for no. And then you just end it with repeat and play game calls right here. That's it. That's all it is. It's very simple, cool. It shows you functions. It shows you while loops, how to do them correctly in Python, which is kind of cool. And you can use this for any other programming you want, whether it be gaming or actual business applications. You will need to have reasons where you have a while or a for loop or some if loop. And this uses while and ifs and else ifs, which is kind of cool in it. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you found this fun and interesting. Data science, coding, analytics don't have to be dull and boring. There's a lot of fun, cool stuff. This right here seems like a simple program, rock, paper, scissors. But it also shows you all of the cool functionalities of calling in your libraries, creating functions, using ifs, if statements, multiple if statements, while loops, and calling as functions, and just having some fun. Thanks again for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share, and stay tuned. I've got a lot of other great stuff coming out, whether they be games, data science stuff, tutorials, video tutorials, analytics, all kinds of cool stuff. Thanks again. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. If you can't see, I got my tree behind me. And we're all ready for Christmas here. I hope you are. And have a great day. Thanks. Bye.